Welcome to Bible Revealed, where we dive into stories and chapters of the Bible. Genesis chapter 40, the story of Joseph, part 3. Joseph interpret dreams. In the previous chapters, where we talked about the early life of Joseph, which you can see above if you haven't watched it, and the last chapter where we talked about Joseph's life in the house of Potiphar, we can see that Joseph was a man with big dreams and aspirations. Also, Joseph was a great and capable leader, one who could be trusted with an entire household and prison leadership. He didn't fail to meet their expectations because God was with him. Here we see that, aside from those qualities which Joseph had in those chapters, Joseph was still blessed with another very unique gift, which eventually made way for him in the later future. Join us as we explore this chapter together. Sometime later, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker offended their royal master. Pharaoh became angry with these two officials, and he put them in the prison where Joseph was, in the palace of the captain of the guard. They remained in prison for quite some time, and the captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph, who looked after them. While they were in prison, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker each had a dream one night, and each dream had its own meaning. When Joseph saw them the next morning, he noticed that they both looked upset. "Why do you look so worried today?" he asked them. And they replied, "We both had dreams last night, but no one can tell us what they mean." "Interpreting dreams is God's business," Joseph replied. "Go ahead and tell me your dreams." So the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream first. "In my dream," he said, "I saw a grapevine in front of me. The vine had 3 branches that began to bud and blossom, and soon it produced clusters of ripe grapes. I was holding Pharaoh's wine cup in my hand, so I took a cluster of grapes and squeezed the juice into the cup. Then I placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand." "This is what the dream means," Joseph said. "The 3 branches represent 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift you up and restore you to your position as his chief cupbearer. And please remember me and do me a favor when things go well for you. Mention me to Pharaoh so he might let me out of this place. For I was kidnapped from my homeland, the land of the Hebrews, and now I'm here in prison. But I did nothing to deserve it." When the chief baker saw that Joseph had given the first dream such a positive interpretation, he said to Joseph, "I had a dream too. In my dream there were 3 baskets of white pastries stacked on my head. The top basket contained all kinds of pastries for Pharaoh, but the birds came and ate them from the basket on my head. This is what the dream means," Joseph told him. "The 3 baskets also represent 3 days. 3 days from now Pharaoh will lift you up and impale your body on a pole. Then birds will come and peck away at your flesh." Pharaoh's birthday came 3 days later, and he prepared a banquet for all his officials and staff. He summoned his chief cupbearer and chief baker to join the other officials. He then restored the chief cupbearer to his former position so he could again hand Pharaoh his cup. But Pharaoh impaled the chief baker, just as Joseph had predicted when he interpreted his dream. Pharaoh's chief cupbearer, however, forgot all about Joseph, never giving him another thought. Genesis chapter 40 offers profound insights into the themes of interpretation, divine intervention, and human forgetfulness. Through the narratives of the dreams of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, we see the significance of dreams and their interpretation in the ancient world. Joseph's ability to interpret these dreams accurately showcases his spiritual discernment and God-given gift of prophecy. Moreover, the chapter highlights the importance of divine timing and providence. Despite interpreting the dreams for the cupbearer, Joseph remains forgotten in prison. This delay serves as a reminder that God's plans unfold in his perfect timing, even when it seems like we are forgotten or overlooked. Additionally, Genesis 40 underscores the frailty of human memory and loyalty. The cupbearer, who promised to remember Joseph and speak on his behalf, forgets him once he is restored to his position. This serves as a cautionary tale about the unreliability of human promises and the need to ultimately trust in God's faithfulness. Overall, Genesis 40 encourages us to trust in God's sovereignty, even in times of waiting and uncertainty, and to remain steadfast in our faithfulness to Him, regardless of the actions or decisions of others. It reminds us that God is always at work behind the scenes, orchestrating events for His purposes, and that He will never forget or forsake those who belong to Him. Join us at Bible Revealed as we explore the Bible chapter by chapter. Thank you, and God bless you.